So to structure a full body routine, I would advise you just pick 7 exercises, just keep it nice and simple, and I'm going to go through what your exercises should look like. So start off with everyone's favorite, the upper body. We're going to start with push, so your chest, front and side delts, as well as your triceps. And you want to pick one horizontal push, so you can alternate between certain exercises there throughout the week, because obviously if you just stick to one, you'll just get bored of it. So examples of horizontal pushing will be your dips, bench press, push-ups, etc. And then staying with pushing, upper body pushing, you also want to pick one vertical pushing movement, so focusing more on your shoulders here, whereas with horizontal pushing you're focusing more on your chest. So with vertical pushing, that could be handstand push-ups, overhead press, any sort of shoulder pressing movement. Once we've got up push looked at, considered, obviously the opposite to push, pull, upper pull, your pulling movements, your back, biceps and rear delts. And you want to pick one vertical pulling movement, so typical, just simple, keep it simple. Chin ups, pull ups are pretty much where you're pulling yourself up and down. Pull ups, you can't beat your pull ups and chin ups. And then as well as that, you want to pick a horizontal row, one horizontal row, whether that be a dumbbell row, TRX row, bodyweight row. And you can either do this more for your lower lats and more specifically your back, or your upper back and your rear delts. And this is going to vary person to person, what your goals are and such. If you want to focus more on your back, then maybe you do want to focus on pulling lower and towards your mid and lower back. But a lot of people tend to neglect the rear delts, and a lot of people, especially when starting out, actually have shoulder issues with their posture. So I think with most people, go for the rear delt. So with your horizontal pulling, you really want to focus on working more of your rear delts. And that's upper body done. Now on to lower body. And so we're going to focus on 2 exercises for legs and 1 for abs, which we're going to look at later. But start off, we are going to be focusing on a squat variation, focusing more on the anterior chain, the quads, and that could be whatever you like. Just standard squats, lunges, pistol squats, you name it, just any form of squat. And obviously, like I said, you don't want to just pick one. Obviously you want to vary it, do different variations, because from personal experience, if you just stick to one type of exercise, you just get bored of it. Now with the anterior chain, we are going to be focusing, of course, on more of the hamstrings and the glutes. And there's glute ham raises and such, but we're just going to be focusing on any form of deadlift variation. Now you can just perform the regular deadlift, but I think when you want to work the posterior chain, you just want to be focusing more on the posterior chain. So the problem with just a regular deadlift, you use your quads, you let more of your legs come into play, whereas to focus just on more of the hamstrings and the glutes, just do some form of deadlift variation that focuses more on them. So the stiff-legged deadlift, Romanian deadlift, one leg stiff-legged deadlift, barbell, dumbbell, and yeah. And last but not least, the one everyone wants popping, the abs. And there's, of course, so many different exercises you can do with abs, as there's so many workouts targeting just the abs. You can do cable crunches and all that, but I'd say mainly you want to be focusing on your leg and knee raises, whether that is with your arms supported, or what I am currently doing is doing leg raises on the dip bar and then knee raises on the pull-up bar, but I haven't actually got any footage of me training abs in a while, so I can't actually show you that. But yeah, that's what that's what you should be focusing on for your abs. In terms of rep range, of course, that is going to vary person to person, whether your goal is more strength and performance or muscle building and hypertrophy. But no matter what your goal is, you're going to get the most optimal results by combining both. And like I said, with the exercise examples, the examples of the exercises I mentioned, you can obviously don't just stick to one. Like if you just do bench press for horizontal pushing, you're going to get very bored of that. Make sure to have some variety, but with your whole workout in general and the exercise you pick and your goals, you want to make everything work together if you want to really get results. Because if you don't make them work together, they'll be more like fighting against each other, so that will impact your progress. So just make sure that whatever your goal is, pick the exercises you need to pick. And in terms of volume, there's of course usually, like if you're a beginner, typically speaking, if you're a beginner, you'll need less volume than those that are more advanced. But what rough guide, what I'm currently using right now is, so horizontal pushing, you want to do 5 sets, but then vertical pushing, you want to do 3 sets. Then vertical pulling, this is upper body, vertical pulling, so your pull-ups and chin-ups, you want to do 5 sets, and then horizontal pulling, you want to do 3 sets. And then lower body, both your squat and deadlift variation, your quads, hamstrings, you want to do 5 sets of each of those. And with abs, you want to do 4 sets. You may be wondering, Jake, where are the isolation movements? Now, that's a very good point, but the amount of volume you give your muscles, your whole body with the compound movements, it's simply not necessary. And compound movements are just a way to go, guys. They are really your mass builders and are what going to enhance your performance much greater in comparison to isolation movements. And with a full body routine, a full body workout, you want to be working out 3 times a week. You can get away with twice a week, but preferably speaking, it's strongly advised you go 3 times a week in order to maximize on your protein synthesis levels throughout the week. And with all that said, you should have one solid full body routine, full body structure that you can follow yourself. And if you follow it 3 times a week, focus on progressive overload, because that's the only way your muscles are going to grow. You should get great results, as well as if your diet is on check as well, guys. Of course, like I always say, you can't outtrain a bad diet, so make sure that your diet is on check to reach your desired goal. As always, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope this helped. If this helped, make sure to let me know and give this video a thumbs up, comment, give me some feedback, spread the message, show some love, hit that subscribe button, etc. Stay tuned for future content, and as always, I will catch you all in the next video.